Visit us at podlanderpresents.com to find information on all of our shows.
You know what we should be eating right now?
What?
Sauerkraut.
You know what? I'm going to take issue with the
Sauerkraut slander?
Yeah, it's too much because as somebody who has actively fermented vegetables in their apartment, less than 1,000 square foot apartment in Chicago, it does not smell bad.
Maybe it's like extra juicy?
Maybe I just had a way of keeping it from any air.
Maybe we just have like weak ass vegetables now.
Maybe. You know what? Weak ass vegetables. I don't know. But every time somebody bitches about how much it stinks, I'm like, I made kimchi like 4 times. And it was never like that.
And listen, you are an outhouse society.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that's the worst thing you're smelling?
Yeah. Every morning.
All smell shitty right now.
You could smell her.
Like
she's standing right next to you.
You're literally, you all smell shitty right now.
Yeah. And this is the thing that you don't like?
Welcome to Podlander, Drunkcast, and Outlander podcast. I'm Allison.
I'm Julie.
And we are here to defend sauerkraut.
Forever.
Like...
It's just good.
Yeah. I mean, tasty.
I love pickles.
Wait until we find somebody who'll eat this. Bitch, I know how many sausages you eat.
Man,
I'm familiar with historical cuisine.
I like pickles. I like things that taste like pickles. Sauerkraut is like that. And then you can use it in so many ways. Fucking sauerkraut rules.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on. Like, listen, things that I know that people ate in oldsie timesy times. Mustard.
Yes.
Sausages.
Mm-hmm.
Pickles.
Yeah.
Bread.
Yeah.
Jam.
You know what goes with a sausage and
almonds.
Bread? Sauerkraut.
You know what goes with all that shit on a nice little charcuterie plate? Fucking a little sauerkraut.
Yes. Or kimchi. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't know about kimchi yet, though. Let's not blow their minds. Time travel is enough.
Yes. Listen, Claire has done enough.
Yeah. All right. Episode 4, season 8, episode 4.
Muskets, liberty, and sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's a little bit. I was going to try to make it. We're the sort of 3 segments that we have, but it's 5 segments. It doesn't work. If it would have to be. If we were naming it after the 5 segments, it would have to be Muskets, siblings.
Mm-hmm. Liberty. We can leave liberty.
But and time travel and
land ownership.
And no fucking. And sauerkraut.
Yeah. This one was directed by Metin Hussein, who directed the last episode, and the writer is one that maybe we haven't heard yet, or I don't know, Evan McGahey.
He also wrote, he's a staff writer, and again, like so writer's room, yes. Yeah. But he also wrote Hello, Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
AKA the episode where Roger's like, did you just put the fucking Beatles on me? What is even happening right now? That one.
Mm-hmm.
So, both two people with a lot of Outlander experience. And I would say this one is fine.
Yeah, I thought it was more entertaining than last week's. It was a little bit more, there was 100% more Elsbeth, and she is my queen.
Yeah.
So there was more interesting things happening this time to me.
Yeah, but I would say this one was also like less emotionally potent.
Yeah.
Although there were 2 scenes that did get me right in the feelings, which is, we'll get to them, but one is Ian and Jamie. Mm-hmm. And the other is Brianna and William.
That was a great scene.
Although I think there are lots of really solid scenes. And my favorite scene in the episode is obviously our Queen Elsbeth.
Elsbeth forever.
And her little dog too, as Claire says, looking out the window. But Elspeth and Fanny just like trading fucking shocking curse words it was great.
Top tier.
It was excellent. Mm-hmm. It was we're getting high in the pavilion.
Yes.
Which I'm very here for.
I'm always here for that.
But we're not going to start with Elspeth. We are going to go Savannah Ridge, because we get a little Savannwich.
That would make it Ridge, Savannah, Ridge, right? But then is that a Ridge witch?
Well, no, it's like a club Savannwich. Right? Savannah.
Yeah.
Ridge, Savannah, Ridge, Savannah.
Yeah. That is
It's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
A club sandwich.
Sweet. So we start in Savannah. The first scene is them showing up at Fergus and Marsley's house. Great. So we get to see Fergus and Marsley.
As we have learned, print shops are havens for trouble.
Yeah, everybody.
You know what? They threw that rock through the window and it was not even noon.
Yeah. We find out that Fergus's print shop is still getting hate because they try to stay so neutral that they piss everybody off, right? But they're unpacking all the gold and shit, the sauerkraut. And then we find out that Fergus has to go meet what's-his-fuck.
Yeah, basically, Fergus and our girl Lauren Lyle Marsley have a little reunion with Roger and Bree, and they chit-chat about one thing and another, and they're like, hey, P.S., we're here to like try to get some muskets, but also I'm going to paint a picture. Won't that be fun? And they have a little chat. And then, Fergus says, oh, it's weird that you're meeting Lord John. I had a letter from him recently. He wants me to go meet
Percy Beauchamp,
his old fuck buddy, even though that's not how they were introduced.
That's not what he says, but...
You know what? I'm remembering now that I think that Percy might be John's cousin, which would mean that cousin fucking runs in the family.
Oh my God, what is their fucking problem? And even fucking, I know we're not there yet, but when William sees Bree for the first time, he 100% knows that is his half-sister now, but that does not stop his horny eyes.
I don't think they're horny eyes. I think they're, oh my God, I forgot I have a fucking sister.
Maybe.
Right? Like, he obviously had a full-on meltdown about Jamie, but he really liked Brianna when he met her. Mm-hmm. And she's charming.
Yeah, you know? I don't know. I felt a little horny eye.
I did not.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm just putting that on them because they like to put it on their family members.
Yeah. So there's a lot of family fucking in this fucking family.
So Percy Beauchamp is hanging out in Savannah waiting for Fergus to go meet him and find out whatever he needs to find out. So that was the plot that we're actually starting with because it's the shortest, weirdest, and sweetest.
It's a silent film ass plot is what it is. Yeah. It's there is, for example, a silent film it's a Buster Keaton silent film called 7 Chances, where the premise is that Buster has to get married by the end of the day if he wants to inherit this fortune.
It's like a Brewster's Million situation. Yes, same idea.
Right? Mm-hmm. This is that only for emotional torment.
Yes.
Because maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. Again, I think the books are more interested in ambiguity than the show is, which I think is a real bummer. Bring back Ron Moore. But here, it seems to pretty strongly imply that Fergus is, in fact, the bastard son of our dearly departed Dick Fox.
The Comte Saint-Germain. Dick Fox, where you been?
Yeah, the most useful Outlander ensemble member when it comes to making Julie and Janine and I improvise fan fiction. Anytime we wanted shit to get weird, he just showed up. Very useful and very hot. Anyway, he's dead. You might recall from the poisons. Mm-hmm. But
in fucking King Louis XIV's weird astrology room,
his weird astrology sex chamber.
What the fuck, man? What is this show?
What is happening right now?
What is this show? So that's Fergus's dad.
Yeah, and Percy is like, hey, so hypothetically, if you were this person, you are Claudel, then because your mom got secret married. And it's this document totally not a forgery.
Yeah.
That thing is definitely a fucking forgery.
Although you do get a close up of Fergus running his good finger over the wax seal to beat it. So he's like, is this legit rub?
He certainly seems to think that it's real. Yeah. And
he is in the print business. So
yeah. He's carbon dating the paper as we speak.
He gets out his little jeweler's
luckily,
monocle.
He is married to Marsley, who learned from the school of Parks and Rec. I'm just trying to find a way to go. Be suspicious. Be suspicious. Be suspicious.
If somebody came to you out of nowhere and was like, "Hi, my name's Percy Beauchamp. You are due millions of dollars. Would you not immediately be like, what? No, fucking no.
I would be incredibly suspicious. There is a really good line, and our boy,
Caesar,
Dan boy, he did a great job in this episode.
He was so good.
His dialect work remains like super fascinating to me.
And the scene with Marsley was so good. Yeah. This was a really good Fergus episode.
Yeah, he did really well. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he has a great line about how Beauchamp told him what every orphan wants to hear, right? That Daddy Warbucks is their real daddy.
Yes.
And
so funny.
But like, in order to say like, yes, money, please. A second Jenny Slate reference in the last 5 minutes. In order to get the free money, he would have to say the Comte Saint-Germain is his dad, meaning Jamie is not his dad.
Yeah, and he's sad about it.
And he doesn't like that idea. I would be less, won't that hurt my daddy's feelings? Mm-hmm. And more, anybody who comes to me and says, do you want this free money, is immediately very suspicious.
Yes, exactly. What do you want?
No, and which Fergus does ask, right away. Like, to his credit.
Fergus is a sharp one.
What do you get out of this? He's a sharp one, and he's got a sharp one. I just held up my hand, guys. What am I on the hook for?
Oh, no. Oh, Lord.
I love him so much. And Percy's like, oh, well, you own a lot of land in what was called the Great Old West, which Julie...
Or Old Northwest.
Northwest, which I believe Julie is right, is
like
Michigan
area. Wisconsin, something Great Lakes area, because there was a long history of French settlement in that area.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how much of it had to do with the colonies and how much of it had to do with Canada.
Yeah. And it also might be Canada. You know, wherever it is.
But they don't be knowing about Oregon yet. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they don't know that Oregon and Washington exist.
There be dragons.
Yeah,
right.
It's just a big old man with big puffy cheeks blowing
otherwise
wind
they'd be saying gold, right? Like if that was what was happening, he'd be like, "Oh, why do we want this land for no reason?
Nothing.
It's definitely not full of gold.
It's just desert, man.
There's definitely not any gold there.
Nothing. Calm, stop.
No. Anyway, he wants to Fergus to say, yes, this is me, so that he can get the estate, which involves this big plot of land, which people that Percy represents want to buy, and the lawyer for the Comte Saint-Germain won't sell it to them. And Fergus is like, okay, but shouldn't I probably not buy land and sell it to the French if the American Revolution is happening? Because they're trying to not be colonies anymore? And
excellent question, Fergus.
Yeah, and Marsley basically says, counterpoint, free money? So
counterpoint, you're like a duke now?
So there's some debate, and I think they do not come to an answer. But it is in a show that usually stays on the correct side of takes itself seriously, so even the ridiculous plot points still carry emotional weight, a la Amy gets mauled by a blueberry bear. Blueberry bear.
By Yogi.
It's a little past the line of like, I'm suspending my disbelief because we know this is a twisty plot.
Yeah.
Into, does everybody have to be somebody's secret fucking relative?
Yes. And I think that it's going to get deeper. I think that the fucking, sorry about it, but Outlander, the series is supposed to be over, but I think Blood in My Blood is going to show us something about Count Saint-Germain.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Oof.
I think it's going to be one big loop.
I don't need fucking, everybody doesn't need to be everybody else's secret relative.
It's not really a surprise anymore, you know? Like, it has lost its shock value. Like, when you open the door and like, hey, I'm your surprise brother. Everyone's like, great, come on in. There's no like, what the fuck? There's just like, sweet, we got room.
And then they see a fight already in progress and go, we jump and kick, and that's how you can tell that they're all related, because they're all like, God.
So Fergus is secret rich and is trying to decide what to do about this spy shit. So thanks, Fergus and Marsley. Deuces.
Let's hope that they make a good call. and that nobody has to hide gold up their butt. Speaking of gold, now what's the next one we were going to talk about?
The next one we were going to talk about is Claire, Fanny, and the Cunninghams on the
so
ridge.
we'll come back to gold. No, here's a transition for you.
Yeah.
Speaking of gold, let's talk about Elsbeth Cunningham. Pure fucking gold.
Dude, what is her name? I wrote it down a couple of weeks ago because I did not want to forget it. Frances Tomelty. Do you know what Allison told me?
Well,
this
came from the chat. This was an Amanda Smizazaza fact joint.
By the way, I got to drop a little something in here about this because we don't really ever talk about it on the show. But if you're listening to us and you want to check out the live watches, they're usually pretty funny and people are really great about jokes and good commentary in the chat section. But that's for the Patreon members. But we watch the episode right before we record. But it's been good. We've been doing it all season. Anyway, Frances Tomelty, here's what Allison fucking dropped on me right before we started recording. Was married to one Gordon Sumner, otherwise known as Sting. And he plowed her fields of barley. They fucking had kids together. What? Anyway, Frances Tomelty as Elsbeth Cunningham is killing it. She is everything. This is the part I always want in any show, any movie. You get to come in and have like 2 scenes and you just get to rip it. So first of all, she dislocated her goddamn shoulder.
And she comes in pissed as hell.
How? I mean, first of all, aging sucks. And that's the first thing I think is I'm wandering around my house at night and I fall over and dislocate my shoulder. I don't have 2 miles away Claire to go to. I have to go to fucking St. Francis.
She says something along the lines of, I would not have walked through the buggering brambles if I didn't think you could help me.
2 miles.
I guess she's not Scottish. I would not have walked through the buggering brambles if I thought you could not help me. She's giving like Lady Catherine de Burr.
Yes.
Only it's Lady and Catherine de Brambles.
So it's pretty stormy outside. Faith and Claire are having a lovely little conversation about ghosts and memory of dead loved ones.
Yeah, they have a nice conversation about like houses and memories. And
then Fanny ends with, here's the only actual joke I wrote this entire episode in my notes. Fanny ends with, I wish Jane would haunt me. And I wrote, I wish Jane would haunt me. Fanny, a goth probably.
Probably a goth.
I think she might be a goth. She was raised in a brothel. She knows everything. She knows too much. Mm-hmm. She's seen too much. She wants to just go to her room and listen to The Cure, okay?
Listen, yeah. She's gonna collect living dead dolls.
So we've already had kind of an establishing conversation with Fanny,
which I will here underline that that this episode
lets us know that the Faith storyline is not done.
Is a nice indicator that we are still fucking talking about Faith. And no disrespect to dead babies, but I'm not interested in the twist. I am interested in the characters. I don't fucking care. Like, if the show isn't gonna become about what happens when 2 people thought their child died, only it turns out she lived a whole fucking life and then died as an adult, and now they're raising her child, that is a main storyline.
Yes.
So either the show is now about Claire and Jamie and Fanny reckoning with that, or don't fucking bother. This is not a side quest.
If it does it
like emotionally, it is main storyline level or get the fuck out. It does not matter otherwise.
I just don't care about it because it got introduced in such a way that made me automatically dislike it.
Yeah.
And it's not as interesting as the other shit that is happening, man.
Yeah. Which is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
The thing that would get me interested in this storyline, the only thing that would get me interested in this storyline is if it was giving those 3 actors, and that is a very talented child actor.
Yes, she is.
Florrie Wilkinson, I think her name is killing it. She's just, she's kicking ass. Very, very good. And I don't know if that's her real hair or if that's a wig, but if it's a wig, it's an incredible wig. And if it's not, she's got great hair.
Bless.
Anyway, either that becomes an opportunity for those 3 actors to like dig really deep and confront what this absurd fucking situation would actually be like, which is, after all, the premise of the show, right? The premise of the show is, here's an absurd thing. What if everybody involved had really big feelings about all of it? And that's why it's not pulp, right? Like, that's why we got into the show, because the premise, patently absurd. Like, say, there's a murder on a train, right? Play it patently absurd. But the way you approach it is what gets me interested. So now, here we are in season 8, and they're like, want some more ridiculous shit? We're just going to mention it once an episode forever. That's all you get. No,
I just want it to be over.
Out, get it out of the whole thing. Like, it's ambiguous and it's an undercurrent, or shut the fuck up.
I do
not care.
I just want it to be over, because there's so much more time there's not a lot of time left in the show. We already said this last week. And I really want more shit about their lives on the ridge.
Oh, to be clear, I agree. I think we should have been done with this.
Exactly.
It shouldn't have happened. And if not, we should have been done with it as anything but an occasional like undercurrent of tension or drama, something, which would all come from ambiguity, right? You want little dollops, ambiguity. Character beats.
Not full scenes every episode.
If
every
you
episode
want
full scenes about
totally.
it.
If you want to make tiny occasional character beats, fine. I don't care, but that's fine, because they're great actors and I will go on whatever journey they want me to. But no plot beats. There isn't any plot. She's already fucking dead. Like, there's no going somewhere with this plot. It's just reminding us that it happened over and over again. They're not going to tell anyone. They're not like, she's not going to be secretly not dead.
I was going to say, do you think they're going to do that?
No.
Because they changed this plot line specifically so much from what happened in the book. Do you think that they're going to go all the way?
No.
Do you think it's going to be some crazy fucking reveal?
It's Cate Blanchett.
Oh my God.
No, I don't think they're going to.
Well, then you're right. We should let it go.
You know what the worst version would be? Episode 7. There's a knock at the door.
Oh no.
And then there is Sophie Skelton in a blonde wig.
Hilarious. Oh my God.
Maman?
Yes.
It is me, Faith.
Oh my God.
I have come from across the sea.
Dude, I can't deny that would be hilarious in a way that I don't think that they would want it to be. But what if we do see Faith? I don't know. They're fucking with me on this. And the thing is, I don't want to be fucked with on this plot. I just don't care.
Ma petite fille.
All right.
I have missed you.
So Fanny and Claire.
Ma chérie. That was what they were talking about. I have missed you. Zut alors.
Always with the zut alors. So we see that Fanny and Claire are alone on the ridge. That does become very important later, because Jamie has ridden out to try to
Jamie basically is like, hey, so I was riding around and I got the sense that there are some other people who are committed to Cunningham's secret fucking militia. So I'm taking my nephew and I'm taking husband number 1 of Lizzie, and we're going to ride off and we're going to try to recruit some people for the guns that Roger is definitely going to get. We are very safe assuming that that's happening. About that.
Anyway.
So off he rides. We'll get back to that in a minute. So Claire and Fanny are on their own.
Alone in the big house. It's stormy. It's loud.
Alone with the ghosts.
That's right. One of the windows on the east side of the house will not stay the fuck shut. Thanks, Ian.
You know what? I've got a wind tunnel in our apartment.
But does it flop? You know what? This last week the windows were rattling in the front room. That doesn't usually happen.
Ours is the wind tunnel becomes most useful to us when the kitchen window and the door to our little porch are both open.
Oh, yeah.
And then sometimes if it goes like really tunneling through, the door will slam.
Yeah. Okay.
So which is basically what is happening here, but also thanks, Ian.
Yeah. Ian, get out that carpenter square again, buddy. Anyway, so Jane is a little bit nervous about it. It's like, do you think that Fanny is a little bit nervous about it. She's like, oh, do you think that houses are people?
Basically.
And you know what? In that moment, I did think to myself, yes, I do.
You know, Fanny, corporations are people.
And then this storm is what brings Elsbeth to us.
We've got some real moody atmospheric shit happening in this episode.
She stumbles in. She says the shit about, do you think I would have walked this far?
Claire looks out the window, sees Elsbeth coming up the path, and just mutters quietly to herself, and her little dog too. It's so good. Good little moment.
Elsbeth comes in. She's dislocated her shoulder. Who knows what she was doing in that tiny house?
Good CGI.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's CGI.
However they did that appearance of her shoulder.
Was dislocated.
Very, very good. But anyway, so...
Did you also notice, I think it's when she's talking to Jamie, there's some scene where Katrina says the word realize, only it's realize.
No.
It's weird. I loved it, but realize.
So Elsbeth is like, yeah, pop it back in. Okay, but before, let me drink approximately 10 shots of whiskey.
Yes.
She really goes for it.
whiskey and she goes ham. And then Claire's like, more, and she takes a sip. And then she takes another sip.
Going back for the second sip the third time this woman is very funny.
Her timing is excellent.
Her timing is so good. So Claire pops her shoulder back in with Fanny's help.
And Elsbeth curses just like a blue streak. A grass curling buggery. Something like that. And Fanny gets this very shocked look on her face and says, "Oh, I haven't heard that kind of language in quite a while." And Elspeth is like you're like canny
10.
lady she is like, excuse me, where the hell did you hear talk like that? She's like, "Oh, I was raised in a brothel."
And Claire's like drops 3 bottles. Like, zip it, zip, zip, ixnay on the Otto Bray. But to Elsbeth's credit, she kind of takes it weirdly in stride.
Yeah.
She does have a moment where she's like, "Oh, you were you?" Yeah. But then she doesn't press it.
She says something about like you learning to become accustomed to shocking things when you're married to a soldier, and then later says something else about war. We were laughing over this part because she was so fucking funny, but something about war, soldiers, and whores or something like that. Like she's clearly not shocked,
right? And her life experience is very fascinating, and I hope that we learn a little bit more about whatever her bag was.
Her first husband was a sailor. That's right. A detail we learned. Anyway, she takes Fanny's background in stride, and then Fanny says something about I think Elspeth asked, like, what else did you learn in that brothel, girl? And she says, "Oh, well, you don't learn very much there unless it's how to please a man in under 2 minutes." And Elspeth says, line of the episode, "I think that's a skill rather than a gift."
Yeah.
Something like that.
And a right important one too. Yeah, a really helpful one too.
And Claire gets this look on her face. It's like, who is this bitch?
This lady is funny.
I love her?
Let's hang out, Elsbeth.
Like, they are just having a gay old time.
And Elsbeth has a really great quote too about what was it? Women tend to be freer in their conversation when there aren't men present. So we do get this great example of that exact quote here with all 3 of them kind of enjoying each other's company. And then, burr, burr.
So the next morning,
dude shows up.
After they've popped the old arm back in the old sake.
Oh, yeah. And Elsbeth, Claire asked her to stay the night because she's scared that she won't be able to get home. And Elsbeth is like, "Is this because my shoulder hasn't making hammer?" Like, but we love you, Frances Tomelty, forever.
Yeah. When she wakes up, Claire also asks her how she's feeling, and she says, "Are you referring to my shoulder or my head?" I'm like, "I love you, queen."
Yes, you're the best.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
Both.
Yeah.
And then her son fucking shows up and throws a goddamn wet blanket all over everything.
Yeah, he shows up. He invites himself in. He asks some very suspicious questions about Jamie, and then like says something pretty
threatening.
Honestly,
it is
threatening, right?
It is a threat.
That's like, "Don't you feel unsafe here all by yourself with your husband far away? You helpless woman, you," because he does not know who the fuck he is dealing with. And you can see that our queen does not like this. Elspeth is not on board with whatever is happening. And Claire is just... She says, like, "No, I'm fine.
I'm fine."
That's what her mouth says. Her face says, "I gut a man like a fish" in the season premiere. Like,
back off, Cunningham.
In Twist Up. Oh, you know what? It's the Starz thing. In Twist Up.
That's coming back next week in the live watch. In Twist Up.
There you go, Buzz. Put that on the Insta. Put that in our stories.
Oh my God!
And then you tag Starz in case they want to turn the Starz theme into Claire. Twist Up.
You remember she likes a mnemonic device. But yeah, Elsbeth doesn't like it, and so she kind of like cuts it off. It's like, "Get me to the. Did you bring the wagon? Get me in the wagon." Like,
Mommy.
But you can kind of tell that it's her trying to get her son the fuck out of there because she's a little pissed at him for this behavior. She does not like it.
It's like when she tells Mandy that she's a little tiny piece of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do not hit children. But Mandy was being a little piece of shit.
Yeah, don't hit the kid, but do tell them you're Satan's spawn.
Yeah. Like, you
are the devil.
Little child. Should shut your trap. Just like different words, Elsbeth, approach it differently and do not hit children. But if a kid is being a little asshole, every once in a while you just have to go, why are you being such a little shit right now?
Such a dick.
The parenting lessons with Allison and Julie, neither of us have children.
Zip.
So we know exactly what the fuck we're talking about.
Zilch.
Anyway.
So, fuck it. Now we've got something to worry about when the windows get blown open and shut in the old house.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Because now it's scary.
Speaking of, the fucking windows being broken is contagious in the Fraser family.
That's true. You would think for a family that places such a high premium on windows would take care of them a little bit more. Would like maybe guard them somehow.
Shutters?
Not act like crazy dickbags all the time where people want to throw shit at you. I don't know.
I mean,
or they think you're dickbags, but they don't know because they don't know what's going to happen in the future. And you do.
You know what, Julie? Let he who is without windows cast the first stone. No, obviously it is not Fergus and Marsley's fault that they're getting rocks thrown through the windows. I do think that Glass has a vendetta against the Fraser family, is what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not their fault, but Glass is on notice. Yeah. Glass is suspicious. Yeah. Which is bad. Do not trust a building with natural light.
Bad news for Claire's surgery. Anyway. So I feel like that's kind of okay for that part of the ridge. Like, we got the whole Elsbeth thing. We got the Cunningham thing. We know that he threatened her.
Yep.
All right. So now we're going back to our Savand Witch.
We're at the center of the Savand Witch.
And this is the Bree and William storyline.
This was my favorite scene in the episode.
I think the scene between the two of them was the best
Basically,
scene.
Brianna shows up to do her portrait, realizes
Lord John's
immediately, that Lord John has not warned William that she's coming, and William does a fucking blah, 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 blah.
Well, 100%.
Right? And then does get, maybe it's just because he's hot, but he does get a touch of a wooga face, as Julie said. I just think that what we were meant to take from it is like, oh, right, I have a sister.
I forgot you
That's
existed.
my fucking sister.
Yeah.
I met this woman and she was really cool. And I thought, wow, what an interesting person. I wish I could talk to her more. And it turns out she's my sister. And I didn't even accidentally sleep with her. Like, that's great. I felt a connection to a woman, did not immediately try to bed them. And I'm very glad because it turns out she is extremely married and also my sister. So now she's here and like, wow, I am slightly less of a mess about my parentage right now. He even says it in his big boy voice more than once in this episode, acknowledges who his daddy is without getting drunk, bursting into tears, or breaking a light fixture.
Growth.
Like growth.
Real growth.
That is real growth.
So, but you know who's not ready to grow quite yet is Amaranthus, because she sees what you just clearly laid out as all the awooga in in Willie's eyes, and is like, who is this bitch?
It's platonic awooga.
But she still doesn't like it.
Pooga? A pluga?
A pooga. She sees the apooga and is like, what the? And she is mad. So she has to flounce out. And William's like, what the fuck, man? I got to go talk to my sister for a while.
Yeah.
And then he and Bree have the best scene.
Lord John does what would, if William did not already know that Brienne was his sister, would be very easily mistaken for a surprise, I put you on a blind date. Only it's I put you on a blind date with your sister, where he's like, I'll leave you two to get acquainted, and closes the doors.
He leaves it open just enough for the Holy Ghost to it. But he does slide those pocket doors shut almost and leave them in there alone. And then Brianna and William have a great scene.
I want to, before we get into what about the scene is so excellent, which is that mostly those performances, the writing is good, but the performances are great. I want to recognize the fucking wigs. We have dunked on a lot of wigs and we've praised a lot of wigs, but in this case specifically, they somehow managed to give these two wigs the exact same lowlights so that their hair does not look like the same color when they're just walking around. Like, I would never say, oh, look, identical twinsies.
Mm-hmm. But when they're near each other.
When they're near each other and when they're under light, it's the like sneaky red, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's the covert red coming out, and they just all of a sudden looked so related.
Yeah, the casting for these two parts has just been crazy.
A+ casting, A+ wigs.
Yeah,
and I will also at this point recognize that Sophie Skelton's accent has gotten very good.
So much better.
It was so uneven, and like it's gotten really good.
Yeah, they were both great in the scene, and it's kind of like this almost. Both of them have this kind of rueful quality throughout it, but talking about how crazy everything that happened to them has been. Mm-hmm. And it's just really like grounded and normal, like feeling like, I don't know. These two people and these two actors are very good together.
They managed to make it like a little bit nervy while also conveying that they are basically immediately comfortable with each other.
Yes.
Like they get into, which is also came through in their first meeting, right? Mm-hmm. Like they just clicked, and here it happens again. And you can tell that for once, William's feelings about whatever is going on with his parentage are not remotely complicated. Mm-hmm. Like he is just glad to see her and enjoys talking to her, and does not, to his credit, does not seem to hold it against her when he asks her, "Did you know that we were siblings when we met?" And she says, "Yes, but it wasn't my place to tell you." Like Lord John and Da both very specifically wanted you to not know because they think you're a little bitty baby
and you won't be able to handle it. And they were proven right.
And it looks like you're handling it great. And he's like, yes, okay. I definitely did not break a chandelier and throw a chair and scare everyone in my household and then run screaming into the street to get wasted and like fall into a mud puddle and then fall in love with a sex worker and then have it be weird. And then she died. And then I had to recruit both of my dads for a rescue mission. And also I got myself captured by Germans. Mm-hmm. Like, he handles it really well.
Yeah, he doesn't say that.
He's chill about it and seems so glad to see her, and she is clearly like very glad to see him, and it's a wonderful little scene.
It was a great scene.
Yeah, it's like great performances from both of them.
Charles Vandervaart and Sophie Skelton. Good job.
That was
team.
A good scene. Sophie also has a great scene with our man David Barry.
Yes, and that I guess we can do that, and then the Amaranthus and Willie in the garden.
Agreed.
So Bree does end up in the parlor with Lord John. And this is when Lord John is trying to find out where Roger went, right?
Yeah. Basically, Brianna is like, hey, so you definitely called me here because you wanted me to talk to William, not because you wanted me to do a portrait. And Lord John is like, well, I do think it'll be good for my grieving brother to have a portrait of his daughter-in-law and his grandbaby, but you caught me. That is in fact what I want. Just so you know, your brother is being a shit.
Yeah.
And every single Fraser I have ever met is incredibly fucking stubborn, and you were all taking years off my life, and yet I still look like this.
And then turns profile.
Like both Frasers by blood and by marriage have fucking just ruined me.
Could you tell?
Have any idea how many jewels I've had up my butt?
And then Bree's like, oh, that's what we should have done with the gold. Anyway, so he talks her into talking to Willie. But he has the long shot of him where he was talking.
Yeah, so he's talking to her about Willie, and she's like, well, you weren't honest with me. And he says, oh, did you want to tell me where your husband is right now? Because I'm pretty sure he just was on business. And he's definitely not in the Constitutional Army camp over there, just over yonder.
And Brianna's like, I don't know.
Fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, another great little scene.
Mm-hmm. And then the final scene in Lord John's place at Savannah is when Willie goes out to talk to Amaranthus in their love garden, their fucking Bridgerton set.
Yeah.
Where they discuss affairs of the heart, because this is the second time it's happened. And she is just in a snip because she thinks that he's got the hots for Brianna. And he's like, she's my sister.
To be clear, he doesn't say, she's my sister. He says, she's my sister!
That's right. Like, dude, he really does declare it.
Dude.
And Amaranthus is like, oh, bleh. Speaking of bleh.
I'm a bastard!
And then she's like, but nobody knows it, so what?
I mean, your title isn't you. He's like, oh, I feel like renouncing the title. And she says, okay, well, you could just pass it on to our child.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
She literally is just like, let's get married and have a kid so that they can be the 10th Lord Aylesmuir.
That kid will be the Duke of Pardlow. Sounds good. And William does seem to have a little bit of whiplash.
He's like,
He's
what?
I just asked you if it was okay if I assumed you enjoyed my company, and now we're getting married?
And also, I think that maybe your husband isn't dead.
Have I mentioned that
But he kind of forgot
his
that.
grave had somebody else in there?
Yeah, he kind of forgot that part of it in that moment.
It is sus.
Yeah, well,
What do you think? You think Amaranthus is on the up and up?
I think she's from another time.
Oh, you think she's a time traveler?
Yeah, I think she's a traveler who found maybe not as bad as Galus, but in the same spirit of a Galus.
She's got a bag full of like bone marrow instead of blood?
No. Finding a place where she can land softly with a kid and like get that kid money. Like, how can I control the past?
I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Just blood marrow?
Picturing Lottie Verbeek
Oh, no.
getting out of a bath of bone marrow, and it's just like fat. Blip, 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 blip.
No. Anyway, yeah, I'm suspicious of her. I just don't think she is what she says she is. Whether or not that's for good or evil, I don't know yet. But, you know, speaking as a woman who's traveling with a child, there are very many reasons why you would try to find a way to get into a family like this.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't blame her. If I don't hate the play, I hate the game.
Yes.
But I do think she is. There's something.
I think the single most gullible character in the history of a show full of gullible characters should probably be on his guard.
Yes. Columbo needs to do a little more work. Columbo needs to hit the pavement and find some shit out. She just appeared out of nowhere. Why is she so hot?
Just one more thing. I'm a bastard.
She's my sister. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, Willie, we love you. We love you, Willie.
Oh, yeah. I think he needs to ask one or two more questions.
Yeah. All right. And now we're on to Jamie and Ian riding the countryside of the ridge, finding the other rebels to raise a counter militia, I guess. And who did they run into?
Oh, I'm so happy.
It was so amazing. So they are at a campment and Jamie's talking to some guys and he's like, we're going to have all these guns. Please join up with us. Is that Ezekiah's nickname?
It's
Kezi?
No, Kezi is the other one.
Okay. But whatever. He's one of the Beardsleys. And
this is Josiah and Keziah. He's Josiah.
Josiah? Okay, I thought it was Keziah that went with him, but whatever.
No.
So it's one of the Beardsley twins, and he's the little secretary, and he's like, give your names to Kezi Wezzy. And then Ian is behind him with what Allison has correctly described as, oh no, something's wrong face, because John Bell has a really good face to convey something is not correct. Something is amiss. And you see him turning around and looking at Jamie, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. And Ian has oh shit face.
Yeah, he comes over and he's like, Jamie, oh shit.
And you know what? For once, it's not, it's Claire.
Yeah. For one time. He goes, there's a Scotsman over there that I don't recognize he said something about Cameron. Was that the name?
And he's looking for Brianna, a Scotsman who's looking for Brianna and Roger.
And mentioned Cameron.
And Jamie is immediately like, if that's fucking Rob Cameron, we're going to have to do a murder. Let's go.
He literally just walks over there and puts a gun right against the back of his head. Like, please, once again, everyone,
but
do
we
not
get
fuck with Jamie.
But we get the no reveal, which is a pretty good indication that there's going to be a reveal.
Oh, yeah. And it's Uncle Buck.
It's our boy.
Boop, boop, boo. He's back and ready to get his beard combed by a Barbie brush. He's very happy to be back. And here's the first thing he says. You tell Brianna and Roger they never have to worry about Rob Cameron bothering them again. Here's Roger's wee book. So
did you want to read some more ill-advised time travel literature penned by a member of this family? Here you go.
Why don't you just go bury this deep in the earth? But we're led to believe that Buck went back in time, forward in time, whatever he did, and found Cameron and dealt with him.
Yes. Basically, he's like, I did a murder. It's a family tradition. That's how you could tell I'm really family. I did a murder.
Yeah.
But this is one of the bigger things to talk about with this episode, because this is Myrta style, a pretty major departure from the books.
Okay.
Where we leave Buck in the books is with a hearty undercurrent of it's ambiguous, but he does not go back with Roger through the stones. There's a sense that that
he was so afraid of his mother.
No, that he was so drawn to his mother that he was going to stay behind and fuck himself out of existence. Basically.
Wow.
Yep. That is not explicit, right? Like it is ambiguous in the way that a lot of the coolest weird stuff in Outlander is ambiguous.
So just leave it up to a
Diana is like freak for freak. You know what I mean? She is like, you want this shit to be weird? Let's get weird. And in this case, it was Buck had the horny eyes and he needed to stay back and fuck himself out of existence. Basically.
Right.
Like,
So did he stay with Galus?
Pussy's so good, it's the butterfly effect.
So in the books, he didn't come back, quote unquote, to the future. He just stayed with Galus and boned Galus.
That's the implication. That like,
this fucking story.
Roger, and please, book readers, correct me if I'm wrong, but I checked on this with the chat too. Like, am I wrong? Am I remembering this correctly? That it's not explicit. This is total inference. But Roger is like, dude, you should really come with me. There's a chance we both might die in transit, because there are more health concerns about Buck in the book than there are in the show.
Okay.
So it is in his defense, a little bit like, if you come back with us, there's a chance you might die. If you stay here, there's a chance that you might accidentally fuck yourself out of existence. Because the idea would be that he would go back and start an affair with Galus Duncan and then maybe knock her up, maybe not, but maybe because she's fucking him, she's not fucking Gilf. Regardless, he hasn't been conceived yet.
Right.
So like, maybe then he does get conceived and just disappears. Like, there's no...
Is that like when sperm meets egg? Like, she's laying there and then poof, he's gone. And Galus is like, reaches over to the bedside table, picks up a list and checks another one off. Because that's what she's doing. She's playing the long game.
It is unclear, but it is like freaky time travel fucking your mom and then maybe you don't get born. Or what if you birth yourself?
What a time to be alive.
It's that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's here is already a pretty big departure from the books. But I'll take the trade.
I'm excited.
It's because he's a great actor. And because
I loved him so much last season.
Well, and I think anything that we can do to tie what's going on with Brianna and Roger right now to their characters and their character arcs in their future storyline, rather than the plot storyline, rather than like the Scotsman's Gold, right?
Right.
One of the like plot MacGuffins that Outlander has too many of, right? Faith.
Yeah.
Like there's too much stuff. Give us the people. And so by bringing Buck back, that's relationship based, right? He was along for the ride on this adventure last season. He was not the reason for the season, right? He's a character, not a plot character. So him being there, he certainly is able to bring information, namely, God bless him, the fact that Rob Cameron is dead, so we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Deuces.
Could Buck also tell us that Faith is really dead? That would be great. He is he's a tie to that, but also to all of these storylines and like Revolutionary War Part 1, right? Where Revolutionary War, the prequel, when we're in the lead up to the American Revolution and Myrta died and that whole time period, because that is when we met the first version of Buck,
which was
Gilf in a bad wig with bad anti-wrinkle CGI. And that version of Buck basically set Roger up to be hanged and cost him his voice, which in the show stays true for a long time. Like,
in the book.
in the book, his voice
is gone for a lot longer.
is like totally gone for quite a while, and then gradually he starts to recover it a little bit, and there's some like blue light healing stuff that I won't get into right now. But essentially, like, his voice improves, some through him working it, some through just the progression of time, and some through magic, and probably also through real medicine. You know what I mean? So this is connective tissue, unintended pun there, to that storyline as well, and all of the fear cooked up with that, and like all of that stuff. So by bringing him back, it's an indication of where their priorities are, at least with Bree and Roger, right? At least this one plot thing has been put to bed. There's already too much going on. I want the people, not the plot. It's too late to be adding new plot.
Right.
It's too late to be juicing up storylines that don't matter. Like, give us the real.
It was so great to see him, and we were just like, yes, just imagine what those kids are going to think. And then,
And true enough, when they show back
up on the ridge, man, Jimmy and Mandy cannot have enough. They run at him. They're like, yay!
and he's excited to see them.
Oh yeah, he has his arms out. It's very
He's got a good quip about the peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah.
And they say you can stay here for as long as
Of
you
course,
want your
your
family.
family. Yeah.
Which is good because, again, he did straight up try to have Roger murdered.
He did.
But that was a different actor.
Yeah.
So we'll just pretend that part didn't happen. They just won't worry about it. And also they know that he is the whelp of the witch.
Yes.
Which I'm sure is confusing for
Roger
Claire.
and Buck did get through it.
Oh, they have a straight up bromance.
Oh, yeah. And I do love that for them. I love that they were able to learn from each other and forgive each other.
And that is, I think, a credit to both Richard Rankin and Diarmid Murtagh.
That's right, Diarmid Murtagh.
Who
Uncle Buck.
is just really excellent, and they were a great pair. He was great with Sophie Skelton, too. Just like a really good actor and a good part for him, and I'm excited that we're going to get more of him. That was a great surprise.
When Jamie saw him and he said Buck McKenzie, and Jamie like flipped out, it was very cute. And also there was this moment that Jamie doesn't have very often, which is when Jamie looks at a dude that's bigger than him and like looks up, and you could almost see in Jamie's eyes like, I could really use this guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Right away. Like, I could,
Oh, thank God.
Thank God. He's bigger than me.
I'm not going to have to teach this man how to use a gun. Oh, what a relief.
Another
Which
Terminator.
this is a good transition,
Yes.
a point that I want to bring up and transition to our last storyline, which is what's going on with Ian. One of the other highlights of this episode is a scene between Jamie and Ian when Jamie is saying goodbye to Ian after the Ian storyline. So we'll talk about that really quick. Ian and Rachel are leaving for reasons we'll get into momentarily, but Jamie says like, hey, there's something I have to tell you before you take off. And then in my least favorite piece of blocking in the whole episode, and in like a while, they're carrying a box to a wagon, and then they just
said,
stop and put it down.
Set it down.
And then have their conversation and then pick it back up and go to the wagon. No one's in the wagon, to be clear.
Why couldn't it have happened in where he loaded it? They didn't even have to take it out.
Or like they could have put it down and then had the conversation. Either way, both of those places were isolated. Rachel and Claire were somewhere else entirely, and it's not a secret.
Right.
But like, it's not something either of them needs to keep from their spouse. Really bizarre blocking. Anyway, Jamie says, this is also our Frank
tie-in.
corner,
No Tobias
because there's no
voice over
Tobias
this.
voice this week.
We missed you.
Yeah, that was one prediction of mine. Down the train. Drain. Not the train. Down the train.
That he would be back this
Yes,
episode.
in every episode. So bummer. But Jamie says, hey, I've been reading this book that Frank wrote. Claire thinks that it is shady as hell. I don't, because people keep mentioning other people
that appear in this
show
book.
up in this book. And he says that I fight at this battle. He does not say, and he says I die there, but Ian sees it on his fucking face. It's a great little nonverbal moment where Ian can see how worried Jamie is, and Jamie tells him, and it's going to be in October, and then doesn't ask anything, and then feelings about it a little bit.
Ian's just
Ian
like, I'll be
goes,
back.
okay, I will be I will make sure that I am back by the time that happens. I will be with you. Since my dad can't guard your left, I will. Oh. And it was like really, this boy that we met in season 3 is all grown up.
I know.
Like he really is. He's a man. And his uncle didn't have to ask, and he didn't have to say what he was worried about. And you could just see he was like, I will be there. And Buck coming back sets up Jamie. This is book lore, but it's come up on the show as well. Jamie always pictures Ian and Murtaugh and Dougal with him
when he fights.
Yeah, it's Ian on one side and Murtaugh on the other, and I think Dougal at his back, something like that. But his right and his left specifically, those two, he always thinks of Ian and Murtaugh as being with him, even while they're still alive, but not physically present. Once they're dead, that's like Jamie, all three of those has these sort of like prayer-like conversations with them. He's a character who is more spiritual in the book than on the show, although we do get a really good instance of him doing a Gaelic prayer in this episode that was really beautiful, I thought, before Ian and Rachel leave. But it's this undercurrent, this refrain through all the books that he's got Ian on his left and Murtaugh on his right, and then Dougal is also there somewhere. And by having Buck come back and by having Jamie have that moment, we are setting Jamie up to go into the Battle of King's Mountain with Ian's son on his left and Dougal's son on his right. And that, I think, is like really potent.
Who's going to replace Murtaugh?
No one, bitch.
So Murtaugh's always there. So that would mean Buck's behind him.
Irreplaceable.
You're right. He is the golden pamplemousse.
Yes, he is. The platinum pamplemousse. He is there forever. But I think, in a perfect world, Murtaugh would have a kid to join.
I know.
But Murtaugh met his one true love late in life.
Yes, it's true. But anyway, so that is a good way to link it in with the book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And to set us up for action sequences that I think will be more meaningful.
Okay.
Because we know that Jamie is going to have these two people with him who he's connected to and that also connect him to his past. Like that for as like a thing that would be happening in a penultimate episode. Probably not. I would guess it would be the penultimate episode of the series, not the series finale, but we'll see. There aren't that many episodes left.
I know.
So it could be either. But setting us up for the Battle of King's Mountain to be not Jamie with a bunch of characters we don't know, which has been true for most of these battles since Culloden, right? He has mostly been fighting with people we don't know very well. Or it'll be like, rather than a battle, it'll be a fight. And it'll just be one or two people. There was the one that Murtaugh died in, but they were on opposite sides.
I believe they were on that one.
Because that was before Jamie was like, fake out. So it's
just a good way to link it.
Yes, it's a good way to make what could just be an action scene more emotionally potent and more tied to the rest of the story, because then we're not just worried about Jamie, we're worried about all these characters, but we're also able to see these people who care about each other and who have these complex histories interact, whether or not Roger is fighting, which brings us to...
Wait, hold on. Let's finish
Rachel. Yes, Ian.
So this is why Ian is leaving. Rachel is wandering around the ridge with their new baby, Augie, and she's kind of having a little...
With her oldie-timesy baby Bjorn.
Yeah, her leather baby Bjorn, which is high fashion. But this baby screams a lot, and you can kind of tell that Rachel is
tired,
not having a good time. But she goes into town to get something and looks down at a newspaper, and there is above the fold on the front page, a notice about a massacre at the... the Mohawk tribe or the Mohawk area where Ian had lived.
It's Susquehanna Valley, Susquehanna River, something like that.
And Rachel just happens to notice it out of the side of her eye, and she immediately picks up the paper and takes it home, and she shows it to Ian and is like, what? Like, look at this. And he's like, I have to go.
Yeah. Basically, it says 40 Indian villages were burned and there were many, many casualties, like specifically scalps.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell that Rachel is afraid of Ian leaving, both for his safety and for what he will feel if he shows up. And he thought that his ex-wife and his kid that he only met the once,
right,
swiftest of lizards, if they're alive when he thought they might be dead, if he would leave her.
Yeah.
Which he would not.
He definitely wouldn't.
He would never.
I think Rachel is having...
But it would be complicated for him.
Yeah, I think Rachel is... Sorry. Oh, now we got a siren. Whatever. I think Rachel is kind of having a... postpartum kind of situation here, because we see that her affect is completely flat. She's kind of a little bit griping about her kid crying all the time. That you can tell that she's suffering somehow, or she is at a low point. And I think that the idea of, as you said, the idea of Ian going back and deciding he doesn't want to come back, I think she's creating it.
I mean, it is also, she brings it up to Claire, and Claire reassures her, and that's another great short little scene. But you can tell that she is also like very concerned for him.
Yes.
And that there is insecurity in the mix, but it's not the only reason that she wants to go. She knows that he needs to go and that he should go.
Right.
And so she is choosing to go with him.
I am going with him because Claire tries to get her to stay, right?
Yes.
And she's like, no.
I mean, she does have a fucking newborn.
She does.
Like, she is traveling in dangerous historical times with a teeny tiny baby far away from the best doctor in the world. I would also try to talk her into not going.
Yeah.
But Claire, respects people's agency in a way that her husband sometimes does not.
Exactly.
And says, okay, well, I get it. I get why you would feel that way. And Rachel also says, like, if it was your husband and his first wife, how would you feel? And Claire doesn't say anything in response, but I bet a lot of people in the fandom were like, oh, you want to talk about how Claire reacted to Leary? Oh, there was a stramash.
All right. So Ian and Rachel and little Augie hit the wagon trail for New York State.
Yeah.
Bye.
New York City.
New York City. We will see them later, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay. And then the final storyline, which is the big cliffhanger at the end of the episode.
Yes.
This is the last piece of bread in the Savandovich.
The Savanwich.
Roger went down there with some gold bars, not up his butt.
The Reverend went down to Georgia.
With gold bars up his butt. Except he didn't. He put them in the sauerkraut bars, whatever. But we know he's got these bouillon cubes.
Hold on. The Roger went down to Georgia. He was looking for some gold to sell. He was in a bind, so he made up his mind that he was gonna put guns. He was gonna get guns for sale. He says, "You don't know this, but I'm a sword swinger too." And if you take this gold from my underhold, I'll make a deal with you. Underhold? I don't know. You know what? I just came up with it.
It was pretty good.
Thank you. I'm no Amelia Bazell, but I've got some stuff. Good. Thanks.
So he goes to the rebel camp outside of Savannah to talk to Captain Ferguson or Colonel Ferguson.
Somebody that is specifically
Not
mentioned
Ferguson.
in Frank's book. It's mentioned where he's going to be and that he sometimes sells arms.
Okay. But
to
it wasn't Ferguson.
Backcountry militias.
It wasn't Ferguson.
It was something with a P maybe or an M.
Right, because Ferguson is the one that he's trying to prevent coming to the ridge. And this is separate.
Yeah.
This is separate. So
But
Roger,
basically, the word on the street via Frank Randall is that this guy will sell them
you can
muskets.
buy guns. Right.
Yeah.
So Roger goes to the camp with his little letter of recommendation and his little gold bars. And this guy's like, wait, Jamie who?
Yeah, he
What?
seems very amenable, and then he finds out it's James Fraser, and he's like, you mean the James Fraser?
The traitor?
Who resigned his commission in mud on the back of a corporal? And Roger goes, well, actually, it was his wife's blood.
Which was pretty metal.
Yeah, it was pretty metal. And he's like, yeah, well, that is super suspicious. And why would I sell guns to somebody who has already turned on the Continentals once? Yeah. And Roger's like, did I mention his wife's fucking blood? Have you never met a wife guy before? Like, what? What are you talking about? We're in danger. And he's like, yeah, too bad. So sad. Also, you can't leave. We're about to attack Savannah, and I have orders to not let anyone depart unless they tattletale to us to the British, which makes sense. And Roger's like, I just told you I want to arm a militia to fight against them. And he's like, yeah, that's your word. And also, I don't trust your fucking father-in-law. Fuck you. You want to fight for us, or do you want to be a pussy?
Yeah, that's exactly what he says to him.
And Roger's like, he's like, I'm not going to fight. I'm a fucking minister. And he's like, okay, too bad. So sad. Go sit your coward ass down and have fun burying us. This guy, I mean, honestly, points were made.
He's
an asshole, but everything, he didn't say anything not true.
The shit he said was real.
Yeah.
And it all happened.
And Roger's like, okay, I'm really bad with a gun, but if you give me a sword, I'll fight with you. And somewhere Brianna's spidey sense goes, oh no. So then we get a big CGI drone shot pull back so that we can see how far the encampment is from Savannah. So basically Roger is going to be marching on the city in which his beloved is currently ensconced.
And that was the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So Roger's back in it.
Yeah. Roger is like, just when they think you're out, they pull me back in.
All right. So Golden Panther.
So Fergus, where we're leaving folks is Fergus, Marsley, their 9,000 children, Brianna, Lord John, William, Amaranthus, baby Amaranthus. No, baby Trevor?
I think it is Trevor.
I think it's like Trevor or Doug. Something like that. Travis. Fucking love the Doug theme song. It's right up there with the Camp Onawana Salute Your Shorts theme song. Classic Nick. Nick. Anyway, elder millennial, baby.
And then on the ridge, you got the Cunninghams.
So yeah, everybody's in trouble, basically. Yeah. Jamie thinks he's getting guns that aren't coming.
Right.
His serial killer nephew just left the serial killer nest to go see about some murdered native people because the Patriots are also fucking assholes.
Yep.
Everybody fucking sucks.
Yes.
Like, don't let men make decisions anymore about anything.
It's so true.
Everything's terrible. Anyway, and they're in trouble because of Cunningham and the no guns and all of that. And then in Savannah, we've got everybody else bracing for a collision. Attack. Yeah, bracing for something very dramatic.
And this was episode 4, which means we only have 6 left. And so we already know that in Savannah, there's going to be at least one fire.
I mean,
because we already saw that in the...
Presumably it will be happening in this context, yeah.
Yeah, and then probably within the next couple of episodes, because we have to... I guess Roger will have made it back to Savannah by then. So we'll have to see Roger's, fucking thing. Because I remember when we did the trailer preview or whatever, there's the scene where they're in front of the fire and they both freak out and they're together.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
So that means we get to see Roger's return to Savannah. So maybe that happens before we see anything in Savannah.
Roger is going to have to pull like a Lord John, I'm enlisting because that's the only way I can achieve my goal situation. Only if he were fighting, he would be fighting for the rebels. So he would be fighting for the revolution. But he still doesn't want to be fighting. And it's just like, yes, I'll fight with you because what else am I going to do? And also I need to get in that city. My wife is there.
Yeah.
But also I've got these very important family friends who are Brits. So it's going to be complicated. Thanks for the coat. Peace out. Presumably that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
But then, we've got the often teased fire in the print shop. That is on the horizon. And then, we've got the continuing travails of the intertwined Fraser and Gray clans.
Yep.
And we still got mystery cousin Ben, maybe on the lam, maybe not. Right?
That's right. He is that. They better wrap that one up. I need to know what happened there.
Yeah.
Because I need to know what's up with that gal.
Yeah. That is drama I am interested in, but
I'm interested in that one.
because I'd like it to move along.
Yeah, I need it to go a little bit faster.
Columbo Willie, I'm on board for.
Yeah, well, he's a little slow and he needs to speed it up.
Yeah. And he should probably think about what information he chooses to yell out loud.
Yeah. A little bit more deeply.
Yeah.
Just consider it.
You know what? He's still embarrassed about when he needed to yell his life story in case he died with Ian in the woods. And he went, I am William.
And that was it.
Cricket.
He could fucking write a song now.
Oh, he's got all kinds of stuff.
He could totally write his own death song now.
Yes.
So that's one thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's your golden pamplemousse?
Golden pamplemousse this episode. You know what? It wasn't the biggest plot, but I was so happy to see him, and the work that he did was so good. I'm going to give it to Cesar Dumboy.
Oh, yeah.
I love Fergus. I love that character. I love to see what he's become. I love to see what the love of a good and capable woman has done for him.
You pointed out a moment I didn't catch, which is he gets offered a drink and Fergus says no. And the way he delivered that was really great too. Like they didn't need to shove that in our faces. And yeah.
So I really think he did an excellent job in this episode, and I'm just happy to see him again. Oh.
Yeah. Good choice. I'm tempted to give it...
Honorable mention to Frances Tomelty is Elsbeth Cunningham, though.
I was going to say that I'd be tempted to give it to either Charles Vandervaart or Sophie Skelton or Rachel...
Izzy Michael Small.
Yes, thank you. Izzy Michael Small or John Bell, all of whom did really great work. But I'm going to say Frances Tomelty.
Yeah.
I thought... that one scene, the first scene, she did a really, her timing was excellent. It was very funny, but it was also believable. And that character is just getting increasingly more interesting with every detail without it having to be particularly exposition heavy. Like I'm learning through her reactions, which is great. And she's so funny. And she and Fanny were great together. That was a great surprise.
Yep.
Really enjoyed all of that. But then she is basically a side note in the scene with Claire and Cunningham, but gave it the most interesting bit of tension, right? Like they are very clearly opposed, and you know that they're opposed, and you also know that Claire gutted a man like a fish.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
What was it? In twist up.
Yes. But we don't know where her loyalties are going to lie. And her response is subtle enough that it is entirely possible that her son didn't pick up on it at all.
Right.
But I think Claire did. I think those two people are just enough kindred spirits that they have recognized something in each other. And Claire is watching her shut this down without being direct about it.
Yeah.
I also really liked when they were talking about her son's "I know when I'm going to die" thing, and her response to that was like,
"I believe that he believes it."
Yes, it was. I think that she was the highlight for me this episode.
Yeah,
but some great honorable mentions.
Exactly. Anytime somebody pops in with just a smaller supporting role like that and makes such a difference to a whole episode, it's always impressive, and she was really great.
The hot pests.
I want to see more of her, and I know that it doesn't feel like we will get to see as much of her and Claire as I would like to see, but given the time we have left, but I know we'll see some more. Yeah. All right.
And then do you have any costumes you want to call out?
I really liked Amaranthus's dress that she was wearing in the garden scene with Willie that had the little lace cutouts in the neckline. That part wasn't what I liked. I liked the fabric. It was this really regimented or rigid,
it looked like armor a little bit,
like rectangles stacked on top of each other. It kind of did give like a chainmail and it was interesting because everything else we've seen her in has been so kind of fluffy with like a little flower applique or whatever. And this did have the lace, but it did look more like I've got my armor on.
It also
I'm fighting.
had Ooh, what is the name of the accessory? They would be like usually sterling silver that a bunch of little tools would be hanging off. You know what I'm talking about?
Not the tussy mussy. That's the little flower thing.
Yeah.
But it's like oh my God, what is that word? It's such a good word.
Keenan would know.
Oh my God.
I don't know how to Google this right now, so we'll look it up for next week. But it looked like she had the attachment that one of those would go on, like there was kind of a dangly medallion on one side. I thought that was a really nice detail. Yeah, I like that one too. Mm-hmm. For me, I want to call out this amazing coat that Brianna wore, like a long, very sort of dandyish. She's got like a bit of a fop element to her costuming that it's a little bit more masculine and somehow more fanciful.
Yep.
That I really like. I feel like it says something about, like there's this throwaway line. Now our family has a doctor, a soldier, a general. I figured we should have an armorer, in reference to the guns being Brianna's idea. So this kind of embracing the like woman in STEM aspect of her persona, while also kind of remaining like colorful and happy and feminine, I think is really cool. Like it's great. And it also connects her with Claire. It's very like season 2 of Claire, bringing in those elements of like Dior luxury costuming from the future and incorporating it into her wardrobe in the now. I think Claire is still doing that, even though all of her pieces are more militaristic now, and Brianna's feel more whimsical, which I think is her coming into her own personality and like her confidence as a wife and a mother and as the woman who got this job in a male industry and like shut people the fuck down. And granted, then she had to run because people are fucking assholes. But she has found ways to recover some of this identity that she seemed to lose when learning that Frank wasn't her real dad. And then all of the trauma that she experienced early in her coming back to the past. She seems to have recovered from that, and that seems to be reflected. Like she feels very confident and
do you think part of it is she got to go back to the 80s for just a hot minute and was like, yes, these clothes. And then when she had to go back to the past again, she was like, exactly like Claire, a little bit like, how can I get that feeling back about being excited about my clothes?
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of like, what do I do for myself to make myself feel better in this time where, you know, what I'm wearing?
How do I visually represent the fact that I am less interested in
your opinion than my comfort?
The conventionally feminine roles that women were often expected to portray, even if that wasn't who they were. Like, it's the same thing as Claire not wearing a cap.
Yeah.
Right? All of the little elements of men's tailoring in their costumes, to me, like, it's like Gayless wearing the monkey vest backwards.
Yeah.
Using their clothes to say something about who they are and to show other people that aspect of themselves.
Yeah.
In Gayless's case, I think it was to put people on the back foot, right? And to be memorable. And certainly alluring, but to like unsettle people. And here it seems to be like, you can't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Like Claire being like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
When Captain Cunningham is like, aren't you scared? She's like, nope. Ding, ding, ding. And I think Elsbeth, that's a game recognizes game. You know what? You think you don't want to know people who tell you something about their clothes, people who outfit themselves to look like the Wicked Witch of the West. Obviously, that is not on Elsbeth's Pinterest board because she is from the past.
Right.
But that is clothing that tells a story for sure. That is, you are choosing that wardrobe deliberately. Another way that I think they might be kindred spirits.
I'm fucking more Elsbeth. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm excited I remember responding very positively to that character in the books. I remember very little about the storyline, and I'm excited to revisit it in writing as well as on screen. So.
Awesome. Okay. Any final thoughts before we end for this week?
I'm excited about next week.
Oh, yeah. Next week, actually, just a little bit of house cleaning. Allison will be out of town next week, so I will be maybe doing a live watch with someone. If not, I'll be recording remotely, but I will post to Patreon if we're going to be doing a live watch next Sunday. And we will have information about that coming up sometime this week. But then Allison will return the following week and we'll finish out the season.
And if we'll probably do at least some kind of check-in on mic about the episode, but I will be out of town and we prefer recording in person. So,
yep. All right.
Anyway,
thank you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. You can find more information on this and the rest of our shows at podlanderpresents.com. You can also find us on Instagram at PodlanderCast, at PodlanderPresents, and at various Instagram handles for our various other shows. Our Instagram and website are wrangled by Amelia Ham on the Loose Bazell. All Podlander Presents programming is produced by Allison Shoemaker, Julie Starbird, and Amelia Ham on the Loose Bazell. Our editor is Chris Barrett. Our artwork is by Viv Pickles, aka Laura, and we are, as always, eternally grateful to our Drunk Slack moderators, particularly Moderator-in-Chief Jenna Polkowski. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/PodlanderDrunkcast, where you can find all kinds of cool stuff, including access to our Slack, our mostly weekly live watches, early access to episodes, some bonus content, and other fun things. Again, that's patreon.com/PodlanderDrunkcast. You can also support us by leaving a review wherever it is that you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, wherever. Just give us a little review and we will be so grateful to you. And in addition to all of those wonderful people who do all of those wonderful things, we want to especially thank the following lovely folks who support us on Patreon. Claire, Stacy Aaron Calvert, Sarah Bosshart, Amy Colleen, Holly Robertson, Carr, Emily Rydell Fornander? Hope it's right. Bonnie, not a prince or a douche, just my name. Jessica Brewer, Kristen Bennett, Gwendolyn Wind, Evietta Chapman, Copper 29 Dragons, Mariana Morris, Janine Hassenberg, Ginka Soja, Cindy Ella, Jay Dykey, Catherine Bullard, Vanessa, Rebecca's Gift, Melissa Mendez, Leslie Jamie, Jennifer, Christina Marina, Tara Ross, Victoria Pegg, Aditi Joshi Parker, Mindy Newell, Laura Coach Mama LT, Tracy Stewart, Brenda Haha, Shayna, Diana Spragg, Ashley LaHue, Doc JWS, Just Ducky 215, Karen Shane, Eliza Krakowski, Tanya Rickster, Megan Rich, Kate Snipes, Naomi Beckman-Strauss, Alyssa McGuire, Laura Mahoney, Ashley Winteroth, Midnight Burger, Anna N., Dakota Girl, Margot Mansfield, Snazzynack, Lisa Briand, Julia Gulia of the Shreveport Gulias, that's a Midnight Burger joke, Kathleen Martini, Jessie Massey, Taryn, KK, Emily Day, Caitlin Reddick, Katie N.J., Molly, Maria DeVito, Kristen and Emerson, Larissa Malmstat, Freckled Fury, Amelia Ham on the Loose Bazell, Patrick, Liz Peniston, Lindsay, Caitlin Ross, Megan Matthey, Denise Perkins, Monica, Amanda Smazazmzazmza, Lori Johnson, Sarah McElvain, Brittany Hulbert, Amy Gustafson, Rachel Townsend, Meredith Kersey, Amber, Liz, Kelly Mazzella, Mary the Falling Statue, Karen J. Young, Philip Nako, Tara Lucchino, Viv Pickles, Mary of the Grapefruit, Jean Kiesler, Kirsty, Jenna Polkowski, Scotty Caldwell, Ann Gibson, Kristen Flannery, Kate G., Jennifer Grebb, Keenan Caldwell, Dee Crawford, Heather Janoff, Kara Marlowe, Trish McCrary, Julie DuToit, Jen Lynn, Kelly Clark, Queen Elizabeth the Young, Jennifer Moniz, and Kiki the Wise. We all love you very much. Thank you so much for supporting us doing all this premium female content.